Rangers? Who are those guys? I haven't seen them in forever.
I know, right? And joining us live in studio, Forbes NBA writer, our good friend. First time having you in studio.
It is. Welcome in the studio, man.
Thank you. I feel at home. You guys are very welcoming.
One and only Tommy Beer is joining us, man. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. It's free agency week. The most wonderful time of the year for me. So I'm soaking it in, getting ready for the craziness. And, we've already got some craziness early this week. So, we'll see what happens next couple of days.
I know that's
right. All right, here we are. Let's jump right into this, shall we? The expectations for the home team, your New York Knicks.
I think there's a Jalen Brunson. Have you guys heard that name?
I think I heard of him.
Who's that guy?
I know that guy.
Once or twice. I think it's been mentioned that he might come. Listen, at this stage of the game, if they don't get him, it would obviously be a major surprise. But Chris Hayes, just a report this afternoon, said that he's going to meet with Miami as well as Dallas and give them a shot. But yeah, obviously Jalen Brunson's the focal point of the Knicks offseason at this stage of the game. We know about the 3 trades: Kemba, Alec Burke, Nerlens Noel, clearing about, as it stands today, about $25 million in cap space. They can bump that up to 30 should they need to by waiving Taj Gibson's non-guaranteed contract. So Knicks have that money to play with. It'll be interesting to see the structure of the contract, assuming he does sign today. Is it escalating? Is it, there's kind of ways that the other very interesting thing to keep an eye on is, can they convince Dallas to facilitate a sign and trade? That way they can, maybe that comes with parting ways with getting off Fournier's contract, getting a traded player exception back. That's when the Knicks behind the scenes, the Brock Allers and and Leon Rose is going to get paid his money to try to figure out a way, not only bringing Brunson in, but also, that can't be the last move, because if it is, a core of, Fournier, Randall, Brunson, and Barrett is good. Is better than a 7 seed or an 8 seed? That's the question to be.
I'm glad you said that. But a lot of teams, not just the Knicks, are waiting and watching to see what their organizations do. And we got moves this afternoon between Atlanta and San Antonio, as DeJounte Murray will become an Atlanta Hawk, and 3 picks.
3 first-rounders.
3 first-rounders went with him, or the other way.
Danilo Gallinari and 3 first-rounders to San Antonio.
All right, what do you think of this deal?
I know a lot of Knicks fans were upset because they kind of had held out hopes that maybe they bring in DeJounte. I'm a big DeJounte Murray fan. Defensively, 20-point scorer, 9 assists per game. So there's a lot to like there. Does his 3-point shot ever come around? I think he's a perfect fit for the Hawks alongside Trae Young. Speaking of, the East is going to be loaded next year, man. Like there's not going to be many nights off. So I understand the Hawks kind of pushing all their chips to the middle of the table to bring Murray in, because that's just a perfect pairing. You can kind of hide Trae Young defensively. Murray can, play off the ball a little bit more. And for that, the Hawks were willing to give up 2 unprotected first rounders in 27, 29. And Murray only has 2 years left on his deal. So we know that kind of the Spurs thinking was, if he leaves after those 2 seasons, they have the Hawks unprotected pick the next year, 25 and 27, in addition to the Charlotte's protected first-round pick next year. So it's a gamble. I got to admit, I'm surprised that the Spurs are willing to do it, especially now. They still got him under contract for 2 more years. Maybe wait till the middle of the season. But word out of San Antonio is, if you kind of read the tea leaves, they're looking to tank. Victor Wembanyama is a name we're going to hear a ton about over the next 12 months. Projected as a kid in France, 7'2", can put the ball on the floor, do it all. There's a lot of talk that he's up there in terms of, prospect, the upper echelon, maybe the best prospect since LeBron James.
Wow.
So there is going to be a concerted effort by many teams to put themselves in the best position to get their hands on Wembanyama. So we'll see.
Another name San Antonio fans might need to get used to: Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, electric point guard, joining college as well. Speaking of the East being loaded next year, the Brooklyn Nets keep their core together as KYRIE Irving opted in for his $37 million final year in his 4-year contract with the Brooklyn Nets. How do you see that shaping the Brooklyn Nets, and just the whole Irving drama we've been through for the past 2 weeks?
Listen, you're asking me what I predict Kyrie Irving to do.
Good luck.
Later tonight, tomorrow.
It's a fool's errand.
I mean, this is, the talent is undeniable, in terms of the handle and the offensive package and all other stuff, but he's got to get on the floor. Amazingly, Kyrie and KD have only played 58 games together.
That number is so crazy to me.
Crazy, right? you know, and I think they're 34 and 24, something like that, or only 8 games over 500. So obviously they thought, if you would have told a Nets fan 3 years ago that 3 years later they would only play, 58 games, have 1 playoff series win, that's not what they were signed up for. That being said, so much depends on Ben Simmons. Again, what are we going to do with Ben Simmons? Is he going to come back? Is he going to play? Can they build chemistry?
It's like Groundhog Day.
Exactly. That being said, if you're a Nets fan, listen, would it be crazy if they got healthy and started gelling around April? If they could make a run? I don't want to play that team in the first round.
And not for nothing, it's a motivated Kyrie who probably wants his money next year. So if he wants it, he's going to have to show up and play a lot of those games. If he wants it.
If he wants
motivated. That's cute. All right, we mentioned it, the free agency class. Well, let's just look at the names, because maybe not blockbuster guys, sincerely, like James Harden is on this list. The expectation is that he's going to work it out in Philly and take a team-friendly deal. Other than that, though, these are sort of your fringe all-star kind of guys. Miles Bridges could have been in the conversation, or was in the conversation for most improved. Bradley Beal's best year probably was 2 seasons ago in my mind.
Yep.
And Zach LaVine, of course, tremendous in the dunk contest. Carmelo Anthony's down at the bottom. The Ayton thing is really curious to me.
Very curious.
They had such a good core. They had such a good thing going.
They had such a good thing going. It seemed like they were, it's obviously a year ago. They were in the finals. You feel like they're heaping praise on DeAndre Ayton, and we know how it ended last season. Monty Williams kind of throwing a little bit of shade DeAndre Ayton's way, and they just don't seem comfortable. Same thing with DeAndre, with Murray. If the Spurs are comfortable letting him go, I think that kind of tells you something about what they think is and obviously if the Suns are willing to let Ayton walk, they have to get something back. They can't let the dude walk. If the first overall pick, 2 picks ahead of Luka, they don't benefit relatively significantly in terms of cap space. So I would assume they're working on a sign and trade. And the Hawks actually might be an interesting destination now to kind of now that they have like John Collins is a piece that they can move. So we'll see.
The one and only Tommy Beer, NBA writer for Forbes. You got to follow him on Twitter. An incredible Twitter follow, especially during this time of the year. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us on MSG PM. New York City, don't go anywhere.